Well, hello everyone. Here we are at Joy Workout number 35. And today's topic is a new vocabulary word called JEXPRESS. Don't just express yourself, JEXPRESS yourself. So, a few days ago, one of our members said to me, Debbie, if you couldn't be teaching, I think it would be painful for you. She said, you have to teach. And like, in other words, it's part of who you are. And I said, well, that's true, because I feel very much like if I receive a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of fullness of heart, I feel like a sponge. And when I teach, I'm sharing what's in that sponge. But I said back to her, I said, well, I might have to teach, but you would probably go crazy if you couldn't put your hands in the soil, like on a regular basis. Oh, and there you are. You've showed up for this live stream. Your ears must have been ringing. So the new vocabulary word here is express yourself. We are expressing ourselves all the time. We're expressing ourselves in our heads, and we are constantly occupying a state of being. So the states of being, which I thought I had right here, but I don't. The states of being that we look at here look like a list of feelings, but you can think about states of being like there's thousands of them. Like a mood of connectedness, a mood of worthiness, a mood of well-being, a mood of angst. Like, this list doesn't have to be this short. This list is just an example, a sampling of what we're up to. So in every moment of every day, you're choosing a state of being. And JEXPRESS means that you purposely tune into joy embodied prior to expressing yourself. So, like, what that looks like for me is making sure that just like we take showers and we brush our teeth, that I have done enough meditation and clarifying the state of being I want to be in before I go about my day, before I express myself. But what I'm curious about is why is it that human beings are so we're like, if we have to express ourselves, we can't just not. And I think that that's the life force in us needing to move through us. And if we don't have obstacles in the way, it's going to come out as joy. So there's a price to pay for expressing yourself with joy. And the price is that you show up and that you pay attention. Joy isn't something that you go chasing. It's something that you notice. It's something that you observe. And so the price that you pay is that you show up, you pay attention to it. So for me, it might look like in the middle of winter, noticing the different shades of brown and purple in the trees, because winter used to be really hard. I couldn't see color amidst all the gray in the sky, because I grew up in Florida and it was green all year round. So now it's springtime, it's a little bit easier to find flowers popping out and things like that, but it's the attention is the price that you pay, observing attention. But also the flip side of that is choosing to undernotice, underreact, be indifferent to the things that aren't matching that state of being that I want to bask in, that I want to have flooding my being, that I want to occupy. The trick there is doing it without abandoning myself. So I'm talking about myself, but for you, this is for yourself. So you want to occupy whatever state of being you choose. It could be joy, it could be appreciation, it could be well-being, whatever you choose. But you don't want to do it to the point that you're ignoring if you're in pain. So after some time, once you commit into occupying the state of being of joy, once you go, okay, this is what I'm up to, this is what I'm about, and you focus on, like for me, the metaphor for that is like a redwood tree or a huge, expansive banyan tree. Then when the weeds show up, I can leave them alone because they'll get shadowed out, or I can pluck them, or I can attend to them, or if it's not a weed, something special, I can move it someplace else. I hope that metaphor is making sense to you, because it's one of the ways that people sometimes harm themselves. They betray themselves when they don't acknowledge um, their own honest to goodness experience in their bodies. But the point of this message is that when you know that you're going to go do something that has meaning to you, you naturally will bring joy to the table. But like doing this 100-day workout, this 100-day joy workout, I'm not always like excited about doing it that day, because like even this morning, I had like a funky dream this morning. I was like, what does that mean? It was just weird. Well, how does that influence how I'm going to show up here? So I have to like purposely get myself out of the confused state, come into a place of don't worry about what the whole meaning of that thing is. Come here, choose to occupy a state of joy, and then show up. If I just showed up here in the messiness of my mind, for example, after that dream, this wouldn't be it wouldn't have the potency, it wouldn't have the power. Oh, I got the other P word: potency, power, and pigment. I love pigment, good pigment and good paint. You see everything around me is like bright colored. I love pigment. So I want the pigment of these joy workouts to be strong, right? So I have to purposely, no matter where I was before, purposely occupy a higher state of being. So on an embodied level, on an honest level, there are many people that I know who live like way up here and who aren't getting their energy from the depths of their soul, from the depths of their bodies, from the depths of their subconscious, from the depths of life itself. And what we're doing here, we're kind of like gatherers. We're not really hunters. We're gatherers. We're observers. We're noticers. We are collectors. We're connoisseurs of the energies that feed us and fuel us on a much larger level. And when we get energy from that place, that's like situating ourselves in really, really, really wonderful soil. And when we do that, we can't help but provide, whether it's teaching, whether it's gardening, we can't help but express ourselves. It's life's inclination to grow. It's life's inclination to expand. And that's what it means to JEXPRESS yourself. And this inspiration started because someone who I know who doesn't really like social media is on Facebook, but she doesn't really like it. She fusses about it. And then I found her following me today. She started following me at Instagram. And I'm like, why do I do all these? Like, what moves me to like post in all these places and take the time to be at Instagram and Facebook? And I'm not everywhere. Like Julie loves TikTok. I don't love TikTok, for expression. It's too noisy for me. I'm more visual, and I don't like all the loudness of TikTok, but we each have our preference. But I was like, what moves me to do all this? And because there were a few years I was really quiet. I was kind of reformulating who I am, what's important to me, what are my values. And then once I really situated and kind of got rooted in myself, then I started coming out, and now I can't stop. So my goal in these workouts is to help you do the same for your sake, And knowing also that as you do that, the whole world benefits without you trying to like save the world. A tree doesn't try to give shade, it just gives shade. Doesn't try to give fruit, it just gives fruit. It does what it does. I just want you to be the fullness of who you are. And when you do that and you're in my vicinity, guess what? I benefit. And that's why I am so passionate about this, because I feel like one of the luckiest people on the planet, because I am surrounded by people who care about this kind of conversation. And that is enough. That is the it. That is the it. And so as you juice yourself up in that, just realize that I am sitting here believing in you, cheering you on, supporting you, and that's what we're all here doing with and for each other. Thank you for being here at this joy workout, and I will see you tomorrow.